Hi, this is Carrie Ann with Dress Hot TV, and I have my teens here. We're going to do our teen talk with their families. They brought their moms in today, and Mother's Day is coming up soon, so we're going to wish all the moms an early happy Mother's Day. And we're going to focus today on values, family values, and just what does it mean with your kids being home now and school's no longer in session, and how has that changed your dynamics within your household, and how do you feel about that? So let's start with Emma. Emma, who do you introduce who you have here today?
This is my mom. Her name's Cheryl. Hello, everybody.
So Cheryl, let's talk about how having Emma home like 24/7 has really changed the dynamics. Prior to March, how the lifestyle has changed a bit. You probably see her more now.
Well, I do, and we're not going anywhere. So like we were so busy before. It was to tennis 4 days a week and school and I was in the middle of a musical when that all shut down, and it's just like life stopped almost, and we're here together all the time. Although Emma likes to sleep, so I do get like a good 8 hours straight. Don't see her. But I think it was okay at first, but there are times where I'm like, are you doing your homework? Are you getting up? And it gets a little tense, gets a little kind of get on each other's nerves. So we have to go to different floors of the house.
Yeah.
Well, that's pretty cool. At least you guys get away from each other, separate corners,
Yes. Go to your corners, everybody. Then you throw Dad, and he's still working. And then he comes in and he's a little like, what do you say, grumpy?
Yeah, he's grumpy a lot.
Because he has like a lot on his mind, like cutting his employees and rotating them in and out, and which is just a lot. And then the public getting on his back. And so so then we have 3 people. So it's been a little different. It's, yeah.
Well, that's hard because you're dealing with a brand new stressor from your husband because he's dealing with a new stressor.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. But we've been coping pretty good. I think it was hard too because I lost my brother-in-law on March 8th and we buried him on March 12th, and then everything closed down the 13th, and I haven't been able to see my sister or my parents. And that's been hard.
Yeah, that changes a little bit because I know like in the funeral industry, my uncle's a funeral director, and it just changes because you're not allowed to have the groups anymore where you would go and pay your respects. And now it's just kind of like, it's like a drive-by, and it's a little bit different, and it's weird. And you just kind of feel left, very like not finished. Yeah, I don't know if that's how you feel, but just kind of not feeling like you completed, have peace or whatever. So.
Yeah, well, we were so lucky, and it was funny. My sister, we call every day, and she says, I hate that he passed away, but I'm glad he passed away because we were able to have 2 days, one viewing and then the funerals. And the day of the funeral is like when everything shut down.
Oh, wow.
So we did get to say goodbye and do it properly, but since then we haven't been able to be together.
Okay. Okay. Well, let's go down to Zoe and Mary Jo. How has your family dynamics changed since Zoe's home all the time?
Well, at first, I had surgery at the end of February, so I was home. I was supposed to be home for 2 weeks, ended up being a little bit longer than that. So I was home for 5 weeks with her. And, I mean, it was kind of nice having her there because I knew I was going to be home. So it was nice having somebody to talk to. We would hang out and watch TV or do lunch or whatever, make lunch and hang out together. And then I had to go back to work, which I've been back to work now. This is going on my 3rd week. And it doesn't really seem that different to me because I come home at my normal time, and she would be already home from school. So now it's almost back to normal as far as that goes. But then we come home, and when I come home, there's really nothing to do. So we just hang out together, and it's really about it. So initially it changed a lot, but now it seems more normal for me since I'm back to work. So, and I know she's sleeping most of the time when I'm at work anyway. So.
So you're not doing that. You're doing schoolwork the whole entire time, aren't you?
Yeah.
That's my girl. That's my girl. Well, you're in the
I
medical
can't help her with the schoolwork.
So you
if
can't
she's
help her
not
yet.
doing it, I can't do calc and trig and all that stuff. It was way too long since I've been in school to even try to attempt to help her with that. So she's on her own with that.
Yeah, well, I had 4 tutors for calculus, man. That was the hardest class. And let me just tell you, after graduating college, I never used calculus. So I don't know why you have to have it.
Yeah,
I
agreed.
burned that book. But, okay, Kenzie, who do you have with you?
This is my mommy, Lori.
So how has life changed in your household?
Well, I actually have all 3 of my kids home now because my oldest is a teacher in Virginia, so she's no longer teaching. So she said, I'll be home till July because they're supposed to go year-round starting in July in her district. So the dogs are scratching at the door. And plus we have 2 dogs, their 2 dogs, plus our dogs. And now we have full house of kids and husband and 3 dogs. So it's been good. And but Mackenzie's been working at Dunkin', and I've been still working, and my husband's still working, and my daughter that's the teacher got a job at Lowe's, and my middle daughter is studying for a board. So we're actually pretty busy. So, but it's been great because we're home and we're having dinners together, which we haven't done, and like sitting down at a table and having dinner together. And so it's been like we're slowing down, which has been great. And we were actually playing games after dinner and
Dominoes.
So we've been blessed that we're still working and just
You're
trying
not
to
sick of me yet, so.
Yeah. just trying to go to our own rooms when everybody with 5 of us and 3 dogs in our house.
I would say that would be my cup runneth over there a little bit sometimes. But you know what? That chaos, sometimes that's like the best noise.
Right.
And to have everybody together, sometimes when it's not there, you do miss it.
Yes, exactly. I'm thrilled to have all my girls home because the 2 of them are going to be out of the nest soon, and Mackenzie will be at college, so then there'll be no one here. So
You'll have the dogs.
You have the dogs and your husband.
Yeah.
So, okay, Ms. Bethany, let's go to you. Who did you bring with you?
I brought my mom.
Hello. So tell us a little bit how your dynamics have changed in your household with everybody home.
It's been interesting, to say the least, because I'm working from home now, which I'm not accustomed to doing. And everybody's back. My son's back from school. My daughter's home. My exchange student's home. And we're all having some fun, learning how to play some different games that we haven't played.
I'm not having fun.
Bethany, you're like the TikTok queen. Are you putting everybody on TikTok? Huh?
Yeah, I mean, that's fun. But
Did your mom done TikTok with you?
she
Did your mom done TikTok?
I did one.
Did one, and there you go.
Yeah,
There you go. I watch it.
She had to teach me how to dance, and that's a major accomplishment for her.
Well, I was watching some of the TikTok videos, and a lot of the kids now are doing it with their parents, and their grandparents, and I think that's pretty amazing. I mean, I still haven't figured out how to do a video yet, but I'm going to YouTube it, and I will know within like the next couple of weeks. But it's just like it's amazing how that has grown, and I guess that gets us to the question of like, do you think social media has changed the dynamics and how you spend the time with your family? And do you think, because when we were all growing up, we didn't have social media, and now social media is so dominant? And do you think that has played a role in how family values have changed in society today. Let's go with Zoe and Mary Jo.
I think absolutely. I know when we're even in a room together watching TV, we both have our phones. We're checking. I'm checking my emails and going on social media and looking at things, and we're showing things to each other. And so, absolutely, even like whenever we go out, like you can't go out without your phone. You can't do anything without your phone. So, most definitely, I think it's played a major role, even as far as like she stays up, and I know she's on her phone, with her friends and doing stuff until 4. I'm getting up for work and she's still up, and I can hear her on her phone and making TikTok videos and doing all that crazy stuff. So, when we had none of that, I mean, I don't know if this would have happened when I was a junior in high school. I would have definitely lost it, because what do? You're stuck in the house. You can't go anywhere. You can't see your friends. You can't do any of that. So when I was in high school, I would have never been able to handle this kind of a situation. So I think actually in that aspect, it's helped them to be able to connect with their friends and see what's going on in the world more than what we would have had.
No, I agree with you. What about you, Kenzie and Lori? What do you guys think about social media?
Well, Mackenzie constantly has her earbuds in her ears, which drives me crazy. And I'm like talking and she'll be like, what? Yeah. So I don't know if she's actually listening to me or not. So we have some issues about that, about get off your phone. And when she goes to bed, I'm like, get off your phone, turn your phone on. So we're still working that even before the pandemic.
Okay, but anyway, electronics, it's good so we can communicate. Like my mom my mom usually goes out with her friends, and my dad goes out. They have a couple friend group and everything. So she's FaceTiming with them every week just to see what's going on.
We have our Fridays happy hours via Zoom with our friends.
So technology is it. I was talking to my mom about this. I was like, what if back then they didn't have this technology or anything? How would people
we got on the telephone and laid on the floor with the telephone to our ear.
Yeah, and it charged you every minute. If you couldn't have unlimited calling, I would call to one place, it's 2 miles down the road, it charged every minute. I remember having a $500 phone bill. I was talking to my friend one time. Oh my gosh, I was in so much trouble for my mother. She's like, who did you talk to for all that long? I was like, I'm so sorry. That was terrible. We always fought about the phone bill. Oh, always. But you got to keep
technology has been good. It's good.
Thank goodness that they can be homeschooled. I mean, they can be,
Online.
continue online schooling.
Yeah, there you go. So, okay, Bethany, what do you guys, how do you guys feel that technology has changed has society as far as social media and stuff?
I think for me, it's been fun to watch her with her TikToks and Mom, let's go do this and let's go do that. So I'm learning how to film and use her camera. But last night, I think was a really kind of fun because we have been able to use social media.
A house party?
A house party. Go ahead. Do you want to tell them?
Oh, go ahead.
How we
You had a
had.
house party and didn't invite us? Oh man, we got lost our invitation.
We had the whole family online and we were all playing games against each other. And otherwise, I don't know that I never would have learned how to do that.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. What about we got Emma. So how has social media changed you guys, and what do you think as far as society?
Well, she don't know how to use it.
I don't. I'm not a big technology person. I'm lucky I can email and text.
But I mean, that's how we contact grandma, grandpa, my sister who lives in Texas. That's the only way we would ever be able to talk to her. So I'm thankful for that. Yeah. I mean,
and we Skype and
that's how I school now. Yeah. I mean, so it's useful.
It is. And the other day I had to do a booster meeting with the school district because I do the tennis boosters, and I was trying to do my Google, but I ended up having to dial in and listen to the conversation and what we had to do. But I'm not a big fan of Facebook and all that, but I know everybody loves it to keep up with people. And I think right now during this, it's been good for people to have. I think people would have been too isolated if we didn't have it right now.
Right. I kind of agree with Mary Jo. It's because if we didn't have the social media and ways to connect with everybody, even connecting with you guys, it's like, what do you do? I mean, some of you guys, I live in a rural area where we have farmlands around us, and there's really not much even to do whenever we're not on lockdown. So, I mean, it's just kind of now you're on lockdown, you can't, and we still order out and stuff, but it's just, there's really not much to do. Like my family right now is in Texas, and my husband's still working. So I'm kind of hanging out with me and my 2 cats. And I mean, although I'm designing, but doing like different projects, it's still, it can really get to you sometimes, as far as like, trying to keep in contact with people. So now I also heard that they are possibly not a lot of the summer sports and stuff, a lot of the summer events they have been possibly canceling. How do you think that's going to affect? And also there was conversation too that even schools may not even go back in the fall because of the coronavirus. So let's go with Bethany. So what do you guys feel how this could change? I mean, with this whole epidemic that we're in now, it's pretty much could change a lot within this country is how we have done things prior to March to where we could go in the future.
Me or you?
You.
Me? Okay. Well, so far, I think it was definitely a needed change because especially in like our school system, we've been very behind versus like other countries where I think now people are understanding a little bit more about maybe mental health and how a workload really does impact you and how much is good, how much is bad. And I think that now maybe they'll consider switching to online for, days when we have off or something, which I think personally will be a nice change. Or like if you're sick, you can do school online instead of going in, which I don't know. I think it's a good change.
Basically, no more snow days.
Yes.
Man, that's a bummer. You always hope for those big snow days, although the weather hasn't been that bad here in Pennsylvania. So, but no, I agree. So let's go to Zoe. So what do you think, honey? How do you feel that, because most of you guys are going into your senior year. So how do you feel that that's going to affect, if you don't start your senior year going to school and you're doing it online, how do you think that's going to affect you?
I mean, I think it's definitely going to be a big change because you look forward to your senior year for forever since you were little. And just to like not be able to go to school and see all your friends is just be really upsetting. So,
No, I agree. I mean, I just think that, and everything, like all the sporting events and all the things that they go to, the football games and all that, that's all part of high school. And, they're going to miss out on all of that. And, then they'll be all going off their separate ways and they're not going to, get to have those memories that last year. So I think it's, the new norm, but I don't know that it's a good new norm.
Right, and I agree, because I think that's, we got Kenzie who's going off. This is her senior year, and the rest of you guys are going into your senior year where, her senior year got cut short, and now she's going to go to college. And, the new norm is, I don't think everybody's ready for it, because I think if you did it slowly, but right now it's just everything is just like hitting you all at one time. So it's just kind of like, you just got to adapt quickly. And some people change, as we know, is not always receptive, very positively. And, and I think that sometimes a little bit slower, but I do think that the school systems, there will be more online classes versus, the going into the schools and so forth. But, I think having that experience as high school, that is so important, to who you become. So whenever you do leave the school and you go on to your, creating your life, you take all those memories and you take the characteristics that you learned from what being with those people all your years and, go on. I mean, you keep that with you, but still to be able to experience all that, your homecomings, your, the summer games, everything that you guys do is growing up as a kid. I mean, that's, it's so much important as far as value. And I just really think that, like what you said, Mary Jo, the new norm is maybe not so good. And, a lot of kids could look at it as we talked about Merrill last Friday, how are the kids going to be able to handle it if, they look forward to sports? Sometimes that's their only way of getting out, because there's kids out there that don't have supported families like you guys are. And there's kids out there who are by themselves all the time, and they don't have anybody at home to be able to talk to or support with them. And some kids don't even have internet or even have like the capabilities of being in contact with social media. So that in itself is, is going to be challenging for some of those students. But let's go to Emma. What do you guys, how do you feel is, like possibly like the new norm with you, you're in the tennis, like going into your senior year, if possibly you don't go back to school right away?
I mean, that's a really big bummer for me. I've been training since I was in the third grade, third grade, to play for my senior year in high school and, possibly get scholarships or whatever for it. And I mean, for that to get taken away from me after all that time and effort it's disappointing. And I feel like I'm getting gypped a little bit of what I should have gotten. I'm sure Kenzie feels the same way. She kind of feels cheated of her senior year, It's a time when you're supposed to be making memories and, having like the proper send-off until, you become an adult. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's the unknown. We don't know what's going to happen. It gives such anxiety. I mean, I have anxiety over the ACTs and the SATs and the AP tests, and it's all different. And it's not what it's just terrible. And then she's worked so hard to play tennis, and even her private coach, we can't even go out and practice. We try to do stuff at home and we can't do it. And he said the colleges now are eliminating programs, so tennis might not be one that's left. And it's just the unknown. It gives you anxiety.
Right. And it's always like the fear of the unknown is like the biggest thing. And I think that's what creates a lot of people, like, how do you handle it? And it's just like, I know with me, like, I didn't know as far as where the malls were going to go, but fortunately, things are going to work out, and it just like, you just never know. But unfortunately, you gotta have faith, right? That everything will work out, and, everybody will be able to get to their place that they're supposed to be. So let's talk to Kenzie since you are our only senior here on our Teen Talk. Wonder if you don't start, you ended your senior year with pretty much a bust, and now you may go into college and you may be taking all online classes.
Yeah, I'm like sad my senior year is over, because like I was like talking to my mom about like there won't be any more senior skip days. Like I'm not gonna have like powder puff, like that's like a football game that our school does. Like I'm not gonna have all this senior stuff. And then with college, and like, cause I already have a roommate that she goes to Upper St. Clair, like she's super sweet and everything. And I just like, I'm sad that on my first semester of college, I might be at home. But one thing will save me a lot of money. One thing, that's what my mom said. Like, second thing, but like, I won't get that like college experience first. Like when, I don't know, I just like, don't like that. Like I'm excited to go to college. I've been waiting for so long to go to college, and I might not get the opportunity my first semester to go to Clarion. That's where I'm going to college, on my shirt. what's today? Like
Decision day.
Decision day. So like I took a little picture of my little clearing enter, go Eagles. I don't know. What do you I don't know.
We've, been just trying to get excited about different things because like our senior solo, they're going to do online, I guess.
Yeah.
Because they normally do that at the choral concert. All the seniors do their own solos. And every day she's like, I won't get to do this and I won't get to do that. So the school's trying to do a really good job about trying to let them still have those last, like their solo and we got some yard signs in the school. Just
our principal, Mr. Lesnett, we love him. Him and like there's 355 students in my senior class. So all like the attendance staff, Maggie, get away. The attendance staff, they drove around in like small mini buses that said like senior 2020 and everything. And I left to go to work, and I don't know what happened.
They pulled up and they beeped, and I'm like, wait. And the principal came out and had the sign. I'm like, let me take your picture. I'm like, Mackenzie was just literally here.
So Peter Township like made senior signs for all the seniors to make us feel like something special. So that was nice, but I don't know.
So they're, it's just, you gotta make it, just try to make it special. I know it's disappointing. It's very disappointing.
Well, how have you, with Kenzie not being able to, like, how have you seen her grow through this as far as being a teenager and dealing with the situation that she had to, deal with as far as not being a senior? I mean, not getting her actual senior year.
She's doing good. She's actually picking up all these hours at Duncan and becoming a shift leader. So it's interesting to see her grow in that aspect because she's still doing her schoolwork, but she's taking all these responsibilities more at work and everything, which is great to see. And making some good money for school. So she's had the opportunity to grow that way of just to be out in the real world somewhat, and making decisions and everything. So I think it's definitely preparing her for school. And, but she was sociable to begin with. So she's got the social aspect already.
She's full of personality.
Yeah.
So Mary Jo, so tell us how you feel that Zoe has handled everything, and have you seen her grow as far as maturity wise, or what, how has she handled the situation?
Actually, I think she handled it, or is handling it very well. I'm surprised at how well. I don't think I could have handled it that well at that age. I mean, she has her moments, trust me. She gets frustrated and gets angry about things and wants to do things that we can't do. But all in all, I think she's definitely handling it well. I've definitely seen maturity in her. Like she'll, even as far as when I had my surgery and we needed to go to the store, like she would get her mask on and get her hand sanitizer and her wipes and go to the store and take a list and go get the things that we needed to have, where I don't know if she would have done that before. She would have not wanted to go. So I think she's definitely growing up a little bit from this situation. Just the online school and the discipline of that, I don't know how everybody else's is, but they give the assignment like Sunday night, Monday morning, and they have to have it done by the following week. And she, has to make sure everything's done. And she does all that. And I mean, she's definitely, I think, grown from this situation.
Okay, good. I know that online classes, that's how I got my master's degree. And you're teaching yourself because you don't have that person right there to go to. And it's challenging. It's a lot harder to do online classes versus being in front of a teacher that, you can go up to and ask. And, I think that the students, all the students, even though with my 10-year-old nephew, I mean, it's a challenge because you got to do the research and you got to be very disciplined in order to be able to get your work done. And, I think hats off to all the students who are learning the online system and, kind of, unfortunately, I think that's probably the future as far as some classes being able to be taken. So good job there, Zoe. Okay, Ms. Bethany, we're going to talk to Tanya. So how do you feel that Bethany has grown by all of the situation that's going on right now?
That's a good question. Let me think.
All positive, right?
All positive.
Thank you.
No, I think it's been a good thing for her too, from the perspective of being home, learning to have additional responsibilities within home too, versus just, going to school, doing your homework. She's got more responsibilities now, since we're all home. And being held accountable for what she does and her own classroom work. And when and if she doesn't have it done, it's nice that the teachers will reach out to us. Sure that it's getting done.
They do call. It's hard. Okay.
I know.
Dang that technology. They got your mama's email, right?
I'm worse at technology than she is, though. I have no idea how these systems work yet. I'm like, it confuses me so much.
You can't even phone a friend, man.
Yes, we're learning. Some of it we are learning together because I don't know how to do it either. So we try to help each other out the best we can.
Well, that's good. So Miss Emma, so Cheryl, give us the lowdown on Miss Emma up here. How do you think she is handling everything?
Let me say, the first 2 weeks, she was like a caged animal. I'm telling you, I thought I was living with some kind of lion or something. She paced and she didn't like it. She wasn't able to do anything, go anywhere. And she's settled in now. She's used to it. But, I said to my husband, she's driving me crazy. She's pacing the floors and she couldn't handle it. The first 2 weeks were bad for her. She couldn't, she wanted to be out.
I'm not used to that.
She is not used to that. She's very scheduled, go to school, go to tennis, go to dance, do homework. This whole, just being at home all the time was really getting to her, but she's grown and she's doing I'm glad school did start back online and she's taken the responsibility. Although I have to make sure she wakes up because she does like to sleep. And she gets her homework done and dealing with the teachers. They're not, sometimes they don't follow the rules. I think she has more homework now than she did when she was in school. I think they're assigning a lot more to catch up. I don't know. And maybe I think they're learning how to do it too, but she has grown to do that and she's been helping me around the house and it's nice to have her here, but it's just not normal.
I thought you were going to say something else that you wanted me to go.
No, it's not our normal routine. And I guess now it's the new normal.
And I think that's where it goes back to, we started talking about family values because everybody, if you can think back, what's been 7 weeks we've been in our homes. Prior to that, everybody had a schedule. It was basically grab something here, grab something there to eat. You know what? I'll see you later, Mom, or I'll give you a call later, Mom, or I have this to do. And everybody was just going every which way but loose. And it was just I think this has one thing, if any positive thing has come out of it, I think it's brought family values back together as far as what is most important. And I think family is what the most important thing is. I mean, I understand that, some things get canceled and so forth, but at the end of the day, your safe place, your family. And I think that that's where sometimes with everybody's schedules, I know with me working 7 days a week, I didn't really see my husband that much. And he would come up to the store to see me and it was just here and there, but I see him a lot more now. And I think that, some people who are married may be like, that's a little bit too much. I like the way it was back then, but that's okay. But I think that we in society have lost that whole family value where you would go over and see your parents or your grandparents on Sundays. And, you would have dinner, you would take the time for each other, play board games. And, everybody just is so busy. I think, and I'm hoping that after all this, it slows everything down a little bit, that we keep that and we get back to remembering that this is the time that this is what gives you strength is your family. That's your core value right there. So, I mean, I could be wrong, but I would like to think that that would be hopefully, going back. Because I remember growing up, I remember going over to my aunts on Sundays for dinners, going to my grandparents on Sundays. And that was, you look back now, you're like, those were the best times, when you can like hang out with your family and, everybody's in different states or here and there, and you just don't have that anymore. So let's go back to Bethany and Tanya. So if you had advice for students now dealing with who don't have that core value at home or don't have the family that you guys all possess here at the on our Teen Talk, what advice would you give them that help them get through this and not have any more tragedies as far as that they can get into depression or get into isolation or feel as if they have nobody? So what advice would you give some of those teens that are watching?
Me?
Yeah, you can do it, and then I'll tag.
Okay. Just that it's okay if you're not motivated all the time. Like, it's totally fine. Don't try not to put too much pressure on yourself. Maybe try and see the bright side of this, especially since now if you're doing a lot of work, this is a nice time to kind of relax. Maybe learn something that you have never learned before and just focus on that for as long as possible. So.
And I think too, the other thing that's important is that they need to be able to talk to someone in the family if they are struggling with something, and making sure that they are aware of their emotions and their feelings and be able to express those in a healthy manner. Like she said, learn something new, learn how to bake bread. Someone I know is learning that.
Not me.
Learn something new that you haven't tried. And like she said, focus on that for a little bit to try to keep your mind going on something other than how you might be feeling at the moment.
Okay, cool. Okay, Lindsay. Kenzie and Lori, tell us a little bit what advice would you give a teen that would be watching that doesn't have that core values that you guys have in your family?
Stay strong. Yeah, she can talk, yeah. No, I was saying to Mackenzie, I think to make, other teens realize that you're all in this together and you're all overwhelmed. Yeah. And you're all, unsure and scared and, but it's going to work out, and it's just, temporary, and it's, definitely reach out to a friend to talk. If you need to talk, don't hold it in. And because we're all feeling the same anxiety.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because it could not just be, and it may not just be teens, it also could be friends, because there could be, single friends out there that you guys have that their family members have passed away. There could be older, grandparents that don't have anybody else that you can't physically go and see right now. And, that's, they look forward to people coming to visit. And, you just don't have that human connection, even though all you have is the phone. So I think reaching out to, the older generation, as well as not just teens, but also anybody who just really doesn't have anybody right there, because you just really don't know what people do and what they're feeling, on a daily basis. And they could be sitting there gouging on, ice cream and just feeling like the world is never going to get any better, and just making one phone call to that person that you haven't talked to for a while could just totally change their life. So I agree with you. So Emma, what do you and Cheryl, so what advice would you give?
I think it's important to maybe start setting goals for yourself that you can accomplish within your home. If you're feeling sad, anything you've ever wanted to try that you can do within the confines of your household, try it. Now's the time. I mean, other than homework, what else do you have to do? I mean, for me, I made a goal. I was going to watch every single superhero movie there was. I have a board over there. It might not be productive, but it was something I wanted to do. And you know what? It kept me occupied for a really long time and off her nerves.
It's a goal.
So, I know, right? A good goal. So, anything that you think you've ever wanted to do, try it. If you hate it, find something else that you wanted to do.
Yeah, I actually pulled into that goal.
Yeah, she did. She came. What'd you watch? Like Iron Man 3 with me or something?
I'm like, oh, these movies. But it kept her busy and made her happy. Yeah. I think it's important that if they're feeling down or isolated, to reach out to somebody. And I got to say that I know I have a lot of middle school teacher friends, and they're like, they like talking to the kids. So reach out to one of your teachers. They'll be glad to talk to you because they miss you, even though like during a regular school year, they're like, I can't take this, can't wait till summer. They are all they're very sad missing their kids, and they would love to talk to you one-on-one. So if you would email them and say, call me or text me, they would do it. I know they would. And you were saying about the older people. One day I was feeling kind of really bad. So I wrote handwritten cards to some of the people from our church and my great aunt, and it made me feel better. Do something for someone else and it makes you feel better.
No, it does. I mean, you always, that's how I was always brought up, always give back and always, look out for other people because, you just never know what other people are feeling. And, I think you can lift somebody up that, you can't put a price tag on that, and I think that's awesome that you're doing that. Okay, my Zoe and Mary Jo. So what advice would you guys, I saw you down there contemplating, what are we going to say, Mom? What are we going to say? So what, contemplating as to like, what would you give advice to teens or anybody that's watching on how to handle and, keep busy, or if they feel depressed or isolated and they don't have that core family that everybody has?
I think my first part of the advice would be to be careful who you do reach out to, because we all know there are a ton of predators online. So, it gets kind of scary that they're reaching out to that wrong person and getting caught up in a situation that isn't a good situation. So that always makes me nervous when there's somebody who really doesn't have anybody to turn to, that they turn to the wrong person. So, and I mean, I think too, maybe just if they're home, like they said earlier, reaching out to like a teacher or a family friend or someone like that they know and they can trust. That's probably the best advice that I would have. And just to kind of stay away from the online, I call them predators, that, they could really get into a lot of trouble with. So that would be my advice.
Okay.
So,
Zoe?
Anything?
I mean, I agree with you.
Zoe, it's not that easy. I agree with my boss. One piece of advice, Miss Zoe. One piece of advice.
I mean, I definitely think like talking to your friends or FaceTiming them, just, you can talk to them and get your mind off of things and have a good conversation.
There you go. Thanks, my love. Now, you guys still dressing up at home, or you like miss like wanting to get out there and get your hair done, put your makeup on, and like, get back into, because all of you guys have modeled for me. So are you guys missing modeling? Zoe,
Yes.
We'll start with you.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely miss it. I love being in, comfy clothes, but sometimes I do just want to dress up and do my makeup and do my hair to feel good. Yeah.
There you go. Kenzie?
Yeah, I miss all your fancy dresses. I love I sometimes put my old dresses on. I'm just in sweats and sweatshirts all the time, and I'm like, when I go to the store, I try to look pretty nice. I'm like, I want to look nice for the store. No one be looking at me, but I'm looking at myself to look gorgeous, and I just want to go to the store. So
you like the best dressed Dunkin' Donuts person.
Oh yes, I have my sister. My sister cricketed my face mask, so I have the best looking face mask at work. So I'm just styling.
Oh, you're too much, Kenzie. And then Bethany, you miss modeling and getting out there to.
Yes, very much so. I'm so bored all the time. I get ready every day. But usually I'm wearing sweatpants and then just a nice top, because whenever I make my videos, they're usually just but I'm too lazy to do my hair, so I just wear a bucket hat.
We noticed the last couple shows you had just your bucket hat on. Just kidding. You're straight hair, so it's all good.
Yeah.
Okay, Emma, what about you?
Oh yes, I miss getting dressed up and going places and everything. Sometimes I get like ready here and she's asking me, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "I'm getting ready to go to school." "What do you mean?" And I walk around, I'm the best dressed in the house sometimes. Like I look forward to these Fridays because this is like the one time that I'm not wearing sweatpants all the time. And I can like try on my real clothes that hang in my closet and like not my 6-year-old t-shirt that's 3 sizes too big on me, you know. Yeah, I miss getting ready to go places.
So once we're all in the green, where's the first place Emma and Cheryl are you guys going to go to?
Where are we gonna go to?
She'll want to go shopping.
Yeah, I will. I'll probably want to go shopping at the mall.
There you go.
Is it you?
Yeah.
Come see me, please.
Yes.
Then after we're gonna have to go get food somewhere. So
Yeah. That makes me nervous, though. I don't know how I'm going to feel about going out to eat. That makes me nervous.
Well, we'll have to, you can have like it's gonna change things. I know that they said like 6 feet apart for like tables and, you know, you're supposed to use paper plates now in some of these restaurants and just everything is, you know, there's gonna be a lot of stipulations as to what they're gonna do. So Kenzie and Lori, I know you guys have been out, but like once we're green and we have the go to get out, where's the first place you're gonna go? First thing you're gonna do?
Shopping and out to dinner.
That's it.
Oh, there you go.
I went through like all my like winter clothes and all like these clothes that like I haven't worn. And I like have donated so much clothes and I was like, "Mom, I have no clothes." You know? So we need to go shopping now.
And just college stuff, but we just, you know, like every day I'm checking, are we having your orientation? Are we not? But that's not till the end of July. But still, you know, like it's just every day, like, what are we doing? I mean, that's like everybody. Everybody's what's going to happen next? We going
like
back? We not? You know, right for grad party? Like, are we having it?
May. It's supposed to be this month.
You know, but we're like, now when are we moving it to? And you know,
it's crazy.
But definitely shopping and but I'll tell you what, working for the post office, people are shopping online because it's like Christmas time with the packages. And I'm thankful to be working, but it's just crazy the amount of stuff that people are ordering. But I'm looking forward to going to a mall.
That's cool. That's good. That helps Simon Mall out in the South Hills Village. But I know I order online, so I at least know somebody's coming on a daily basis to just say hi to. You know, I spread out my shippings. You know.
I know it's been interesting because I've seen a lot more people than I've never ever seen on my mail route because now everybody's home and they just want someone to talk to. So it's nice to see some of the people.
Okay, Bethany and Tanya, where's the first place you guys are going to go?
Well, we're going to Florida.
Going to Florida?
We want a vacation.
Yeah.
A vacation.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's our plan.
Yeah.
There
so
you go.
One of my friends is moving, so we're gonna go visit him.
Do you have tickets? Are you flying or are you gonna drive?
We're gonna drive.
Oh, that would be awesome. That'd be like a nice trip.
Yeah,
Like,
just the two of us. She's gonna drive and I'm gonna drive.
I'm going to be doing the driving. You're gonna be
and I'm gonna be doing this.
Driving to Florida is fun. We drove to Panama
City.
That was fun with a full pack of people.
Yeah.
It's crazy, but it's fun. Road trips are fun.
It'll be fun. I'm excited.
I am excited
Cool
too.
deal.
Yeah.
So Zoe, Mary Jo, where are you guys going? Aruba?
No, not this year. Our Aruba trip got canceled for this year, so
Oh.
I don't know. Probably shopping.
The mall, yeah.
The mall.
Definitely shopping, out to eat. So
that's good.
I miss shopping. I mean, I've been doing a lot of online shopping too, but it's not the same. So I saw something online this morning that said the best message, or I woke up to the best message this morning. Your order has shipped.
Yeah, that's true.
That's everybody's message in the morning now. So I don't know, but I'm ready to go out and actually see a bunch of clothes and try them on and shoes and all that stuff. So
I know
I know
that's
Zoe is too.
Yeah.
and go get some new wardrobe and make yourself feel good. I'm going to the hair salon and getting my nails put back on. I have nothing.
Yeah.
So, that's everybody I talked to. So it's like, how far are you at? Everyone's like, all my nails are off. So I had one left and ripped it off.
Yeah.
So,
Well, that's
Gotta
what the
get the
poor
toes
dog needs a
done,
nail
too.
clipping.
yeah.
Yeah, like our dog's nails are so long, and like the vet won't take them because it's not an emergency. So we're like, the dog, get the dog out. Like,
Even the dog's having nail issues.
So it's a hot mess out there. Everybody's a hot mess. But I do appreciate everybody getting on and bringing your moms. And I do wish you guys all a happy Mom's Day coming up here, I believe, next weekend. And as far as our fashion show, I still have a plan for July 12th. I'm hoping that the hotel does not cancel or have to move it. So
that's July 12th. We're gonna do my grad party that day.
Yeah,
okay, so we're all gonna come to your graduation party, and then we're gonna
dressed up
go.
and everything.
Yeah, then we're gonna go to the fashion show.
There you go.
But right now, we'll see, because it may have to be pushed to August, but I am going to have it because I know I had such a great turnout for how many people wanted to model and vendors. And, I really still think that we need to raise money for girls who can't afford to go to prom or can't afford to go to homecoming. And, I'm still behind that whole entire, fundraiser for that. And I want to have it because I just, I'm not a quitter, and I'm definitely, I'm going to figure out one way or the other to have this fashion show, because I have a lot of even the vendors that were coming. We had 3 fashion trucks that were going to, show their goods. And I know they have struggled because that was a way for them to be able to get their clothing out there. And now they really don't have a path to be able to show people their spring collection. So any way we can help anybody, that's what we're going to do.
Absolutely.
So, but hopefully, Mackenzie, that it's, July 12th, you can still have your party. You do whatever you do, Mackenzie.
Yeah, we don't know about the date and the whole virus, so it might not even be that day. So,
and then we'll just come busted after everyone's done modeling. We'll come all in gowns.
Yes.
There you go. You won't be that far from us.
Yeah.
So, but again, I thank you guys. You have beautiful daughters. I'm so grateful that they're part of my Teen Talk, and I'm glad that, they wanted to continue talking and, spreading their word throughout while we've all been shut down, because it has helped me. Actually, it's the only time, Emma, that I fix my hair and put makeup on. Every other time, my husband's like, are you going to do something with yourself? So he's like, wow, there's my wife, But anyways, but again, thank you for taking the time to hang out with me today. And I look forward to the next time. And remember, Dressage is about loving yourself, being who you are, and accepting and embracing your curves. And we love you out there. We're all in this together. We will make it through. And, if you need any help, please reach out to one of my teens, reach out to their moms, reach out to myself. And, there is somebody out there to talk to you. So don't feel like you're alone. And again, this is Carrie Ann with Dressage Teen Talk. Peace out. Bye.